good evening, everyone. Let's go ahead and open the meeting. Call the meeting to order. Please turn off all cell phones, electronic devices at this time, or turn them to vibrate. And Ms. Darlene, would you please lead us in our prayer and thank you? Well, what? She's over here.
I've already told you the three things I have to do.
City Council meeting for 6/2016.
Thank you, Heavenly Father. We thank you. We thank you, Lord, for this day. We thank you, Lord, for the blessed rain that you have sent. Lord God, it's filling up our lakes, and we appreciate that. We ask, Lord, that you will guide and direct us, Lord, as we carry on the business for the city of Ballinger. In your precious name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Darlene. The court?
That one is the cleaning.
Oh,
That's the note that was made.
Thank you, Darlene. All right, consider approval of the minutes of the May 16, 2016 meeting, please.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from the May 16th, 2016 meeting with corrections as noted.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, thank you. All right, visitors who are not on the regular agenda will be given the opportunity to address the council on any subject at this time.
Okay, I may have to put something in right here.
Okey dokey.
What's your name?
Montgomery.
Tom? Yeah. Okay. I just noticed a little bit ago, Tom Montgomery, you know, he has a building down by the boat storage here on Hutchins. It was supposed to be on the agenda, but it's not.
Okay,
And Tom is here.
okay.
So, Tom, if you want to go ahead and make the case.
Yeah, I got this letter from Mr. Nixon about my building, and I was in the process at the time when I got the letter, putting sea purling up, put a new roof on the part that needs to be fixed.
Okay.
And I've got a photo here of the part that I've done so far. It's going to take. I'm going to have to do it in sections.
Okay.
And because, well, at first I tried to do it by tearing it all down at one time, but there was just too many obstacles in the way.
Okay.
So I decided that I needed to do it in sections and get the equipment and do it in sections. And it's taken me quite a while to clear out the obstacles so I could put the equipment over there so I can get up there and work on it. And I've got a photo of the first section I've done.
Okay.
If you'd like to see that.
You bet. And this is directly behind the boat shed, or boat storage?
Yeah, what's that address? I mean, I can't,
908 Hutchins.
yeah.
So this is the first section.
Okay.
And I put up sea purlin and tin, and I'm gonna move, I've already moved to the next section.
Okay.
And I'm gonna start on it pretty soon. Well, actually, I've already started on it. But each section is gonna take a little while to do, and I'm just gonna move from one section to the next.
So is the original existing pretty much gone and out of there, and you're going in and put?
On that 1/3, about 1/3,
Okay.
is gonna need to be replaced.
Is it safe? I mean,
Well, it's not to the public. I mean, there's no public coming in.
Okay.
So it's just me working on it.
Okay.
And I've got a full-time job, so it's gonna, I do it on the weekends.
okay. Awesome.
And I wrote a letter to Mr. Nixon too,
Okay.
if you want to see it.
Was it nice?
Yeah, I thought it was.
I was just checking. You know, sometimes we don't get nice letters.
I mean, if you want to see it,
Sure.
that's a copy.
Okay.
Didn't you start this project
It's a long-term project.
a while back, a year or so ago, or maybe more?
It's a long-term project. It's more or less my retirement project. I haven't retired yet, but
The last time we visited this was in November 2012.
Whoa.
yeah.
3 years ago.
But I've been working on the outside to make sure that there's nothing wrong with the outside, so nobody in the public's going to get damaged. And then I've been cleaning out the inside, which is a major thing. And since, you know, it's not too easy to haul stuff over here, I got to haul it to balance the dump. It's an Angelo all the time. And I'm, like I said, I've got a full-time job, and it's just me, so it's gonna take a while. And, I've got to the point where, the major point that I've been trying to get to. Now that I see the light at the end of the tunnel,
Right.
you know,
Okay.
that, you know, it's gonna take like, a month or two, depending on, any unforeseen circumstances for each section.
Right.
It's gonna take, since, I'm gonna have to do it on the weekend.
Okay.
And I think it looks pretty good, actually. The way it's coming out, I think it's gonna look
A
pretty
lot
good.
better than it
Yeah, a lot better. But this is the point I've been trying to get to,
did. I know.
and, I finally made it.
So now the light is there and you're good to go. We just sent you a letter and got you upset.
Well, you know, you get kind of, uncertain about, well, should I proceed, should I
Okay.
do whatever, you know, it's a little uncertainty going on there.
Well, I feel he's making progress. I feel he's moving forward. If anybody has anything.
We can't take any action on it.
Okay.
No, I mean,
I got you.
we send the letters because we have to follow up,
I
because you'd be
understand that.
surprised,
Yeah,
Sorry.
I mean, things, nothing's been done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it appears to me that you.
And you can't even see the majority of the stuff I've done,
Yeah,
which is tearing down and hauling
well,
off.
and that's probably the issue, right? You
Yeah.
can't see it, and you keep looking at the same building every
I
day.
need to, yeah, I need to tear down so that I can get to it, to the roof, because it's way up there, and
He's making
I'm a little bit, well, I'm not so much now, but at first I was a little bit leery about getting up so high.
Yeah,
And, now I'm starting to get used to it. It's not so bad.
well, don't get too used to it, 'cause that's when accidents happen.
No. I used to work up high a long time ago, but then it's been, like I said, it's a long time ago.
All right,
And now it's a lot, it takes me a while to get kind of like my sea legs back.
yeah.
But anyway,
All right.
so that's where I'm at,
All right.
yeah. And I've started on the next section.
Right here. Yes, I see that.
Mhm.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you coming in and thank you for what you're doing. And
Oh,
we understand it's taking time.
Like I said, it's gonna be my retirement project in a few years, and to be, you know, spend more time there, but right now, I can only do it on weekends.
So we can put that on the next agenda to remove that from that list? Yes.
Yes, if that's still,
Yeah.
did you want to remove it from the list?
I think so, I mean,
Kidding them.
he's making an effort, so that's better than
But
something.
could you?
It's a great effort.
Could you kind of keep us updated on your progress? So
I
that
can do that. I
we
mean,
haven't seen or heard from you in 3 years, okay?
that's because I didn't know I was supposed to.
I know, but
Check in.
yeah, we couldn't really tell what you had been doing.
Well, you could probably tell what I've been doing in the front, which is rebuilding
Yes.
the awning
Yes,
and some other stuff. And in the back, I did a little repair work also, but most of the work has been on the inside. And then hauling crap off too.
so if you could just give us an update every so often on, are you this far along?
What we can do is, on the next agenda item,
Yes,
something to the effect of discuss and take action
Yes.
on the property located,
yes,
blah, 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 to remove from the condemnation list, with the stipulation that Mr. Montgomery keeps us informed quarterly.
Quarterly. How would you like that done?
Just through Steve, just
Send him a letter?
You mean letter?
Send him a
Letter,
letter,
okay?
letter, picture, yeah, just keep us advised of your progress.
You could even
But-
call.
Yeah.
It's
But that,
It's
again,
gonna be a long-term project for sure.
but that we need to have that discussion
yes,
at the next
Yes,
meeting.
yes,
at that next, yes.
when
Yes,
it's on the agenda.
yes, yes. It's not on the agenda, so we can't take any action, we can't do it. Okay.
So, everything is good then for now?
Yes,
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 yes, sir.
yes, absolutely.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, I don't want to. She said come again. I don't really want to.
Any-
All right,
Nothing about, I mean, I'm supposed to be at work right now and.
you're good.
You're fine.
Thank you, Mr. Montgomery, appreciate you.
You need to go out this door, sir.
This one?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on, discuss and take action on the purchase of a new brush truck through government capital. You should have in your packet all the information on the truck
You should have a resolution and then,
and the and
yeah, that's the specs on it, is on the truck. We're looking at terms from government capital on a 7-year lease. Payments are going to be roughly $19,000 and change.
Yearly?
Yes, ma'am. That would be less than what we're currently bringing in on the $2.50 fee for brush trucks. So, this would allow us to purchase a new brush truck. The brush truck that we currently have, we can get it running periodically, and then it's gonna break down again. To really fix the brush truck that we have, it's gonna cost $80,000, and it's approximately 30 years old. We can get a smaller, better equipped brush truck for $125,000, give or take. It will also allow us to go down alleys as well. So people put brush in their alley.
No matter what.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We would love to go down alleys, assuming the weather and everything's fine, but that truck is too big to go down.
It makes big ruts.
Yes, it does. But, we, got this bid out of Amarillo, is that correct? And, the bid is good for the next, I think, 2 weeks till July, this first part of July, I believe.
What did you say the monthly payment was?
It's not monthly, it's annually,
Annual.
19,000 and change. Currently, we're bringing in roughly 22,000 annually, 23,000 annually on the brush truck fee that we've implemented in January. I wanted to wait and see what our revenues were going to look like consistently from that. And so, this would allow us to go out and get something new.
I'll make a motion, we approve the purchase of the new brush truck and sign the resolution, Sam sign the resolution regarding the finance contract for the purchase of the brush truck.
second,
A second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
For sure, we cannot function without a brush truck.
Well,
I'm just convinced. Because
I,
every time it's broken down, I get phone calls.
you get phone calls.
I'm sure y'all get run on it.
I think Melissa Getz will be very, very, she might be the happiest person in
No,
town.
I think Benita is, because she doesn't have to pay maintenance on it.
She sees it. Yeah, that's true. All right, discuss and take action on amending the water restrictions.
Okay, I was gonna kind of put this in my city manager's report, but I'll share it now, so the people watching at home and on YouTube, you can cut to the chase at about the 15-minute mark. As of 8 o'clock this morning, January 6, 2016, the new lake is at 57%. The old lake is at 100% plus. Ivy is at 23.2% and rising. Randy Everett, we told me that we expect both lakes, the new lake and the old lake, to be full, potentially full, by the end of June. Valley Creek is running into the old lake. The valve has been open for about 6 weeks, and it is bringing in more water than we can take out of it. And so, one of the things that we discussed, and we were going to have this discussion long before the rains came the last 2 weeks, was amending the water restrictions to a certain extent. We know we're going to lose 3 feet of water in July. That's been the average. You're about to start seeing 100-degree days. If you get a couple of those successfully, you're going to have evaporation. As Randy has famously told me time and time again, we can either sell it or God's going to take it. One of the two.
I put that on the radio.
Yes. And so we have some amendments to the water conservation measures we have in place. This is going to be a short-time amendment. I would ask that if you see it in your infinite wisdom to do these, that we put a time frame on them and give us the option to immediately change those should it become necessary. The first amendment would be that we would allow all customers to water 3 times a week. The second amendment, and I think this is in place already, if not, it will be moving forward. There will be 0 watering between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. The reason for that is your highest range of evaporation during the day. We would also allow some exemptions for new yards. We've got a number of customers in town who have put in yards and they've really struggled to get their yard up and going because of the water restrictions. We would also allow folks who have not filled up their pools to fill up their pools. Those are the 4 amendments that,
You want to just do that to the end of September?
yes, yeah. And I would also include in there, if something was to happen, the line from Ivy's was to break or something like that, that we would have the ability to go back to.
We could do that anyways, couldn't we?
Emergency. Yeah. We did it before with the emergency.
Okay.
The one thing is, I think we're already in stage 2 now, but we do have an amendment where they can already do their pools, if I remember correctly, from last time.
Yeah, I think that was allowed.
I've been, that's the question I've been asked a
Right.
lot in the last 2 weeks. I get asked 3 questions. What's the level at the lake? What's the level at Ivy? And can I fill up the pool? I just wanted to go ahead and delineate pools so there's no confusion on it.
Okay.
Is there any thought to modifying, having like summer rates for higher water users?
I've thought about that,
I mean, the only way to encourage usage
is to lower the
is to
rate.
lower the rates. Now, the problem with that is it could potentially impact our funding request.
Yes,
And
yes.
so I don't,
I'm keeping that in mind. If you would like, we can do this and then, because the water conservation and water rates are 2 separate issues. I can run numbers to see what it would do. I would assume a high consumption usage would be anything over 8,000 gallons. We can take our average billing for consumption and say anything over 125% of that. The problem is we don't know what they're going to do. We don't know if people are going to turn on the tap or not. I certainly think by the time we meet again in 2 weeks, because this will get out tomorrow morning, assuming y'all y'all make the motion, we'll be able to tell what they're going to do.
I mean, the problem's gonna be, you can say you can water your yard 3 times, but doing that means a $300 water bill and people.
Yeah, when they get that first bill, they're going, whoop, I don't have a water
It's
anymore.
just gonna be difficult.
Yes.
For people to.
Yes.
And I think it's gonna actually, the day that everything's full, we have to change our culture here, because people got used to running yards, people got used to not watering, people got used to not taking, not using that much water.
We are a test case, and TCEQ's told me this unofficially, we're a test case for, I didn't think it was necessarily anything, out of the ordinary. If you don't want people to use something, you just charge them a lot for it. What I've told TCEQ repeatedly is we don't know what our true demand is. And so while we have these high rates of 780, does that really reflect what our true demand is. A couple of things.
Well,
that-
it is a true demand at 780.
Well, yeah, exactly, exactly. If you would like, I can come back to you guys on the 20th with some financial models to take a look at.
I just wonder if we shouldn't really take a good hard look at like, summer rates or spring and summer rates, because evaporation gets a significant amount of it anyway.
Yes.
So, I mean, we don't want to get stupid with it, but by the same token,
Yeah,
if it's gonna evaporate, I mean, here we are, we got a water allotment from Ivy that we're not utilizing 100% of today. And people could use that and we could make money from that because we're paying it.
yes,
You know what I mean? So
Yes,
take your
there's gotta be some,
Try to get something back out of it.
there's gotta be some way to work that out to where we can maximize revenues.
let me, give me some time on that one.
Yeah,
And I can bring it back up on the 20th, because I'm all for lowering the water rates. I mean,
I just don't want to impact anything we have in Clay.
well, any lower water rates is going to do it. If we do it on a low-scale evaporative basis, I think that's okay. I mean, this is certainly an anomaly in our weather pattern. It's certainly an anomaly in our water supply situation. And so, with an eye of knowing that it's not always going to be like this, but it is like this today, I agree, we need to do something to encourage people to water their yards. Now, that being said, I don't know anybody's going to water their yard this week.
Well, they're not going to water their yard for 3 weeks.
I mean,
Oh, there's some.
so
That's all.
So that's, and we'll read, and here's the other thing, we'll read meters, the week before we meet again. We'll read meters next week. And so I can come in and we can almost make it effective for the July billing, if you'd like.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think it's something we should look at because we lose it anyway.
Okay.
And we're missing out on revenue.
We've done it in the past where we just said, it's gonna go to evaporation anyway, just let them use it.
Well, if God sends us a check for evaporation, I don't think that's gonna work.
You know?
It's first time for
It
He blessed us with the rain, so I'm not complaining.
Hey.
But, you know.
big time.
okay. All right.
So we want to table that till the next meeting?
We'll table that one, but do you want, that's a separate issue.
Okay.
The water restrictions that I laid out now is something that we can take action on if you'd like.
Through September 30th is,
Sure. Yeah.
September, October, what do you think?
well, September is past the hottest time, you know what I mean? Usually it cools off.
Right. Usually.
Usually.
Usually it's 100 in June too, so.
Very true.
We just started.
Well, we haven't started yet. Haven't seen 3 digits yet.
If you would, I mean, you can put September on there and
We
then
can always vote to it.
extend it, or I can cut, if need be, if it looks like the water level has dropped, or we didn't get the inflow from Valley, or whatever the case may be, or people decide they're gonna start using, and our consumption goes up to 1 million gallons a day, then we can come back to you.
And change it to August 1st or
Immediately.
September 1st
Yeah.
or whatever.
I'm making a motion that we amend the water restrictions as presented through September 30th, 2016.
Second,
Second.
all in favor, say aye. Awesome. Good. All right, discuss and take action on budget amendment process.
Okay, one of the things that the auditor has brought up was line item budget transfers. And y'all should have the template in here. It's it's transfer 1, transfer 2. I just did the same thing as an example. That way we'll keep track of the transfers that we did. So you'll have transfer 1, transfer 2, transfer 3, transfer 4, transfer 5. That way when it comes back, when we move that money over, we moved it in transfer X. You'll know the amount that we want to transfer from, the line item that we're going to transfer from, the current balance of that line item, as well as the line item that's transferred to, the one with the need. Did y'all get, did she put this in the packet? Okay. She went through and highlighted the funds right now that have, that are overfunded.
Okay.
Those had totaled, and this is where it gets tricky. If you look at the general government fund, you're looking at, $77,483.51. Y'all do not have those numbers in front of you. Of the 77,483, roughly 30,000 of that was the ACO vehicle that we didn't budget for. We didn't know we were going to get it when we were writing this budget. We received grant funds for that. So therein lies part of the rub on that. The water and sewer fund is over by about $8,500. And the airport fund was over, I think, $12.
You said she was supposed to highlight something in here?
Did y'all get this right here?
I don't think she does
No.
that. I didn't do it.
But it's not, oh, no, not like
We didn't
that.
get
Not like that, okay, I'm
Not
sorry.
like that, we got this.
Yes,
We
okay,
actually got the
okay,
whole-
I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm like,
Here-
okay.
Here's the question that I need to answer from you guys. How often do you want us to come to you with line item transfers? Do you want us to do it every meeting? Do you want us to do it monthly? Do you want it quarterly? Is there a certain number amount? Is it 0? And we're gonna come to you guys for something over? Is it $1,000? Is it,
Well, what was his recommendation? Huh?
he didn't have it.
He didn't say that part, he just said it needed to be done.
I think, there's gotta be some discretion there. I think like the brush truck. Did we put the brush truck in the budget?
No.
So theoretically, brush truck would be one that we would make. Anything the council has to get involved in to buy out of cycle, I would think that we would want an amendment
Yeah,
for that.
just to clarify, the brush truck the payment won't be due until the next fiscal year.
Yeah.
But I take that point, I take that point.
Something similar to that, we would need to.
I don't think you need to come to us for $1,000 just because you overspent in one category for that.
Well, the example that I bring up is Scotty goes to buy a rock. This is back in April. And if you look at Scotty's budget, the material budget is pretty much spent. But we're about to do 11th Street. And we purchased all the materials for 11th Street. We probably purchased more than we needed. But Scotty's over there at, is it Brownwood where he gets the rock, or is it, okay, I didn't know. He's over at Brownwood and he says, hey, this year's prices are over at the end of the week. If we buy more rock next week, the price goes up 15% for the same rock.
Oh, Larry Peel. That's his part.
And so he said, what do I do? And I said, well, buy everything you can, everything that we need, because it's rock, it's not going to get old. And it's going to be out there, we're going to use it. So those are things that I didn't get your approval on, but I felt prudent because it was stuff we're going to need.
Well, it's gonna need, it's not gonna go away. We're gonna use it.
See,
And buy it for less
that's
cost
your
to go.
discretion in the budget. What we need to approve or any purchase of equipment items or anything that's not in the budget like that. Significant infrastructure investments,
Okay.
things like that. If you want to redo all the electrical at all the parks, well, and it's not in the budget, that's probably something we need to look at. You know what I mean? Just to cover you.
Right.
Sure.
Not because we don't trust you, just to make sure we're on the same
But I
page.
understand using this form is a great
Yes,
tool to show him, okay, this is what
this
we
is
got.
what the council has made aware that we're moving funds from that column X. And we're not adding to or taking away from the budget.
Yeah.
We're not,
It's just a light item being moved to another location.
exactly. You'll probably see one for, to cover some of the putt-putt and other expenses.
I think quarterly is fine.
Okay.
And I think overall, I think the issue needs to be that it depends on how far out of the budget we are, right?
Sure.
I mean, if we're way out of budget, then we need to have some quarterly amendments
Yes.
so that we can get an idea of what the
Where we
changes
are
are being
going.
made, you know? If you decide to pave 3 extra streets, right, I mean, that's probably something that we're gonna have to,
Yes.
and you got the money, you just need to move from here to here, that's probably something that we need to approve to do that, but
Well,
buy an extra rock or, you know,
Leachy base, whatever you can
whatever
do.
that is, I mean, that's.
I mean, Scotty comes today and he said the loader, we need a new bucket for, it's gonna be $5,300. If we don't get it, then we're gonna have a hard time paying it. Okay, I mean, that's one of those things you're gonna have to go do. We've got the money for it, it's just in another different fund. The other thing is if we don't have it, we don't spend it. I mean, when we got into a bind because of the sewer plants and the less income we got, the less sales tax we got in July, we pretty much put a freeze on all unnecessary spending. I mean, it was, it wasn't the easiest thing in the world to do, but we just said we don't have it, we ain't spending it.
I just think if you see your budget getting way out of whack, you're gonna have to take care of that with
Yes.
budget amendments.
Yeah,
You know,
and
that keeps you whole. I mean, because if we set a dollar amount, here's how this works, right, in the bean kind of world. If we say $5,000, every purchase you make is $4,999
yeah.
in 3 installments. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's just the way that works.
If you get around this, right?
I mean, so we just need to make sure that the budget's, within reason. I mean, if we start getting out of whack, we need to start looking at budget amendments.
And and I'm gonna be Bonita and I together will be the first ones to say, we've got a problem and this is how we need to fix it.
Right.
And it might be not spending money, it might be moving money from here to there, it might be some other things. If y'all are okay with this and do it every quarter, then we can,
I think the big one's gonna be in the third quarter, when we're trying to true up everything for September.
Right before that.
Right, I mean, but
Yeah,
that's
that's
what we do, just so we can keep track of that too.
Well, if we want to do it more often when it comes down to that, then I guess we can.
Yeah.
I agree.
Do we need to do anything on that?
you need to approve this form and then direct me to report to you quarterly.
I make a motion that we approve the budget amendment form and that the city manager reports to us quarterly.
Second,
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. You want to skip to the end? You want to move this one?
I get rid of the hair bubbles. We can eat. Oh, Lord.
I don't know if you heard you or not.
I know.
Didn't mean if you get all choked up.
Did you want me to skip? Is that what you asked?
It's your call. Yeah.
She said yes. Okay. All right. Consider approval of building permits.
Okay, Lou Garcia, 1503 Avenue B. I want to build a patio, 20 by 30 by 9 foot. Larry Holder, $1,600 A. Wants to put on an addition, bedroom, bath. Rick Jones, 2012 Hutchins, we're building a new shop out
We've done this a little late since it's having clothes and everything. That's
there. They had to do what they do while between rains.
between rains, yeah.
Richard Morris, 1904 North 13. Greenhouse, 8 by 6 by 7 foot. And got another one. Kyle Morrison, 220 Willow Pond. He wants to build a new house.
Is that gonna be in that vacant lot?
Yes, those two, he bought both those vacant lots.
Oh, wow.
And,
Those are up there by the envelope.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll be in the very backyard.
yeah, he wants to build a new home.
Oh, that's the other one, okay.
It's, what do they call that, Corey?
Barn dominium.
Barn dominium, or something like that.
Is it behind it from Mueller?
Is that a new term? for
It's
house?
gonna be steel frame,
Still frame house, brick, and brick, whatever.
Oh, okay.
and so,
Huh.
I think everything here is good.
Mueller. They're in Ballinger.
What?
So,
I asked myself. Oh, on what?
No,
No,
No.
you didn't say anything today. What'd you say his name was?
Kyle Morrison,
Morrison.
yeah.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. All right, motion to accept building permits as presented, please.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
a second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Awesome, awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, here's the police activity monthly report from Chief Mark McNulty. How are you, sir?
Pretty good. We had 10 arrests in May, 26 total reports. Accidents are still high at 9 of them. The total warrants requested is always wrong. Disregard that, that's about 10. DWIs are down, 101 citations. Family violence was down. Only had one of them.
And why are the warrants always off? Is that something in the reporting system?
It's just hard to keep track of the ones that are gone into the county attorney and the DA's office.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It's much higher than one, I know
I would think so.
that. All right, any questions for me?
Well, that's it. You got anything?
I like the second report though, the chief.
I do too.
Okay, I like that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That's really helpful. See the total on the citations. Yep. Awesome. All right. Thank you, sir. All right, here's the city administrator, bi-weekly report, please.
okay. Now you do have this financial statement here.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the one you see every month. Couple of things, you're gonna notice that the water and sewer fund is down. That's because we just made our $450,000 bond payment on the water plant. And so, but then we expected that, so now I've got June, July, August, and September to make that back up. So we were expecting that to happen. We're not in terrible shape over there. Typically, when we made the bond payment, we were 300 plus over. We had to make up in a hurry. General fund's doing very well. We had a good sales tax last month. We're expecting another good sales tax in June. And then July is the big one for the summer. We are up 461 in, we're up 461 in general government. We're down 146 in water and sewer, but again, we just made a huge bond payment. And so that was expected. We'll make that back up over the summer. Bottom line, we are up, I'll get to it if my page is stricken together. Bottom line, we're up 326, 387. So we're up 325,000 for the year heading into the fourth quarter. Okay, well, starting to head into the fourth quarter. It's technically July is the first. It's the first month of the fourth quarter. Is that correct, Mr. Accountant?
Yes, it is. Well, your fourth quarter.
Yeah. You should also have in there, it's a chart that Randy gave me. And if you ever wanted to know what percentage the lake was, all you have to do is call and get the elevation, and it'll tell you what percentage it is. So we were at 1661, 1662, something like that this afternoon. And so we're somewhere between 40, we're going to be close to 50%. If you notice the elevation of feet, just the slightest drop changes your percentages dramatically. For example, if you go from 60 to 56, just a slight 4-foot drop, you're going to go from 44% to 26%. And I'm just using those as examples. So the evaporation we discussed earlier, you're going to see it go from about 100% to roughly 70, 75%, just on evaporation. Okay. I just thought that this was interesting to me. I figured y'all would find that interesting as well.
So what did you say the new lake was earlier?
New Lake is at 57%.
Okay. What's that you said?
Street paving. We are prepping 11th Street right now. We have already purchased the asphalt distributor. It's already been put to use on a test run. And we expect the chip spreader that we purchased to be here at the end of this week. Is that correct?
I think so.
6th through the 10th. So if, assuming it gets here by Friday, we will do a little test drive over at Tres Amigos next Monday or Tuesday and get all the kinks worked out, and then we will start on 11th Street. There are, and this is just so everybody in the public knows, we are aware that there's a large number of potholes in town. And if you notice, a number of those potholes have popped up in the last 10 days or so. That's what happens when you get rains like we have. Water gets in there, it pops the asphalt out, it's going to cause a pothole. We have guys who've done nothing today but go patch potholes all over town. It's a big town, a lot of potholes, we're doing what we can. We are patching, someone's posted the other day that we were not patching the potholes properly. Yes, we are. When we can cut, we cut and square them off and fill them that way. Otherwise, we're putting the material in, we're putting an emulsion down, and we're rolling them. So we're doing as best as we can. But keep in mind, if it rains, it's going to pop back out.
Especially when the river runs through.
Yes, if the street was a creek bed that we had paved over back in the 50s, it's probably going to still be.
And those that run from Broadway down to the
16th Street.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, all through there.
One of the things that we did do, and I'm hoping to get a bid on, is Alton Fisher. We're waiting to get a bid back from him. One of the troubled areas, and you mentioned water, and you mentioned one of those streets, is it East Avenue that's right there by the football stadium?
13th.
Is it 13th or 11th? 11th and East Avenue, right there at the football stadium parking lot. I think this was a Head Start building down there. That intersection right there. We can do the following on our own. We can cut that out, pack a base, relocate some water lines. There are no gas lines that we're going to really tamper with. And then we're waiting on a bid from Alton Fisher to get rebar down and put a concrete apron in. That's really going to be the only solution for that intersection there. And we're going to try to do this before school starts. But I'm waiting on Alton to get me a price.
How far back up is it going to go?
It's going to go up to, there's a telephone pole by the parking lot if you
Yes.
head back towards the elementary.
Yes.
That's where it's going to go.
Okay.
It'll go back that far up, and it'll go through that intersection, and then there's actually, when they put that street in there, there's actually curved aprons.
Yes.
And it will go to all 4 of those curved aprons. If you drive down it, you can see where the water has displaced the rocks that were in that parking lot across the street from the football stadium. And that's kind of where our guide started. So we went back another 6 or 7 feet, started a telephone pole, and we'll clear all that out. And again, I think it's prudent to do that before school starts.
Yeah, that's 11th and Broad.
Okay, sorry.
East is the next one.
Yeah,
Yes, 11th and East Avenue where it dips down through there and runs, sometimes it has to be blocked off.
yes,
You go through it.
yeah, it's,
And then when it runs this way, it takes all of the pavement out by the softball field. And then it goes this way. Yeah, it's-
our forefathers did a lot of things right. One of the things they did not do was put a drainage system in place. Our streets are effectively the drainage system. And so,
I live right there with St. Lubbock.
everybody west of 281. Lubbock got 4 inches of rain and people were, kayaking down University, so.
That's crazy.
But tech students have always been, adventurous.
Sure.
I'm not saying a word.
Didn't think you would, sir. Parks, like everybody else in town, there's plenty of mowing for us to be doing. We've got a bunch of young men out on mowers, trying to get those things taken care of. Claude and Bickle are fighting with the park to get that thing looking good. It looks good. I mean, they're doing a really good job out there. But we're just playing catch up on trying to get stuff mowed. The pool is up, it's running great. We haven't had any issues so far. I think Ms. Wilson's got a number of parties being scheduled. Corey did a great job of setting up a Facebook page for the Ballinger swimming pool. And so we get a lot of traffic on that. There's a lot of people at 3 o'clock in the morning and asking about the pool because my phone goes off every time someone posts. So,
Turn on notifications.
Turn off the phone.
a couple of things on the schedule. There's a regional review committee meeting in Abilene on Wednesday. That is for CDBG grants. I don't anticipate us putting an application in. I do anticipate us making a comment about the process. And one of the other things I want to make a comment about is funding for this area is almost ridiculous. Roughly 10% of all the applications in this area are funded. Roughly 80% of the applications along the border are funded, and it's been that way for about 25 years. It's getting to the point now where some cities are putting their second swimming pool in using these grant funds. We do have a couple of projects that we could do, that we could use for one's out at the water treatment plant. And so I'm going to go to that meeting on Wednesday. There's a budget workshop that TML puts on. I right now tentatively plan to go to that one on Thursday. I've been invited by TCEQ to go to a drought workshop, and the irony does not escape me. TCEQ asked me to come to a drought workshop in San Angelo on the 15th, and I'm going to go. As y'all know, I will be on vacation from July the 7th through the 13th. I will be in Charleston, South Carolina.
What was that date again?
July the 7th through the 13th.
Okay. You forgot to tell me that.
If you'd like me to annex part of South Carolina, I'll do what I can. Moving forward, just kind of a couple of hit and miss things in the summertime. Texas Municipal Community Network has a newly elected officers workshop that they do on July the 20th. And then the San Angelo Legislative Summit that we go to every summer is going to be on August the 3rd and the 4th. And then TML is putting on a small cities problem solving clinic on August the 12th in the beautiful and scenic city of Andrews.
Andrews. Okay.
It was either Andrews or Beeville. Have you ever been to Andrews, Texas in August?
Yeah. They're not there.
We up there a little.
It's, I'll
You
eat,
wanna go back?
I'll eat buddy steak fingers, I'll bring out some buddy steak fingers on the way back. And that is my, report, sir.
Can you give us an update on the putt-putt?
Yes, I can. We asked the previous tenant to, basically get out by Memorial Day. I didn't realize the Monday that I told him was Memorial Day. We went down the next Tuesday. I fully anticipated on making him whole. He saw it in his best interest to take everything. And so he took everything, except for a refrigerator that had accumulated several inches of mold inside of it. And so I had the summer hands come down and take that refrigerator out. And a couple of them threw up.
Okay.
Where did we put that refrigerator?
I'm sure it went to the recycle center.
So we're in the process of trying to get just a used refrigerator down there. We're going to order the balls, the clubs, and everything else. There will be no payment made to the previous tenant. There's nothing to make them whole. They took everything. And so we're in the process. Kind of got sideswiped a little bit on that, so we're just starting all over again.
So do you know when you anticipate reopening?
It is the 6th. I'm hopeful to have it up in 2 weeks.
Okay, so at least by the 25th is what we're kind of looking
Yes, I at least want it by the time they have their little celebration thing.
Are you aware of the graffiti
Inside,
outside on the white thing that comes up?
yes, yeah. That's when it's closed. It's actually on the inside. Yeah, we're gonna have to paint over some graffiti and some really technical or tasteless art.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's what I need.
Any other questions, concerns?
All right. Here, request for future agenda items from city council.
The only thing I was gonna ask is about the options for infrastructure, wireless, internet connectivity,
I got that.
other things we can do, cable, whatever else. I just don't know for our citizens what we can.
Talking like a citywide
Right.
function.
What the city council can do in order to improve infrastructure conditions.
There's a couple of three things, and they're not very good. I mean, we don't have an economic development to kind of come in, and you wouldn't want to spend that money on this anyway. We can certainly let people use our water tower and our infrastructure free of charge, and that's a big inducement for a lot of these folks. I will certainly follow up over in Winters to find out exactly what their infrastructure situation is like. I know their former mayor played a big role in.
Well, yeah, fix the.
Yeah, well, I was trying to be politically correct.
Lewis doesn't like political correctness.
Yeah, that's the irony doesn't escape. The number one complaint I get outside of water and streets is internet. I get it all the time. But I will certainly, I didn't know how far I could go without y'all's blessing, but I can certainly try to bring some options and see what we can do, report back to you on the 20th.
It's just a request.
Just a what?
Request?
I also have Mr. Montgomery, we'll finally take that issue up, and then I have looking at water rates for the summer. Is that correct?
Awesome.
Okay.
I have one question. I don't know if that falls into this category. How tall do weeds have to be before y'all do something about it?
I've been sending out letters.
Okay.
I think there's, in residential areas where there's houses in it, a foot tall, or,
I thought
and then the open lines, I think it's 30 or something like that.
3
But in open, undeveloped,
3 feet.
and so,
One of the things, and I'll just say this for the record, because I've been asked about yards too. One of the things is our options are severely limited when it comes to mowing and these things. We can send people out there at $15 an hour, and machine is X, and then blah, 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 blah. But by and large, people are not gonna pay the bill. And so we're gonna be forced to put a lien on a house for $300, $400, $500, whatever it is. We,
Can you add it to your water bill?
no,
I asked that once before.
no, you cannot add it to the water bill. One of the things I'm going to visit with Darby about is, can we do some of those things to put a little bit more teeth into this? Because when I have conversations with other city administrators, one of the things that they turn into is the de facto lawn service for the deadbeats. Not that if you have big weeds, you're a deadbeat or whatever, but you know, people, the word got out that the city of El Dorado will come mow your yard. And they send you a bill that you don't have to pay until you sell your house. That.
But if it's a rent house and they're not mowing,
Same scenario, it's the same thing,
It's the same thing.
there's nothing you can do until they sell that.
Till they sell the house.
which would.
You know, we get in the same thing when we demolish our house,
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
there's nothing you can do. We've sued, and we can get a judgment, which is absolutely worthless.
We don't have, there's not a lot of good options the city can make somebody care about property that they clearly don't care about. Now, if it's an elderly lady or if it's an incapacitated person, you know, you can hire, you know, there's lawn services around town. I know
Kids.
there's a bunch of 14-year-old kids who come over your yard for $25. Kind of like using medical services in ER, we're the worst case scenario for your yard. We can write the letters, we can do those things, but there's just not a lot of teeth there. But
Yeah, there's a lot
Like
of
the
fines.
mosquitoes are gonna start
Well, yeah,
happening.
that's it. Well, I'm glad you brought that up. That's another thing. We do not have a vector control program. We do not have a mosquito program. To be perfectly candid with you, the EPA has really taken, no, I hate to use this term again, it took the bite out of those chemicals. The chemicals that you see when they spray, it's only effective if it actually touches the mosquito. And so when we go fog or spray, or when cities have done that in the past, if there's actually no mosquitoes there, it's not going to sit and wait and get in the atmosphere. It goes down. The best thing to do for mosquitoes is just use off. I mean, that's the best thing you can do, because everything else, short of.
Still a Zika virus gets worse, and then they'll come up with something.
Well, when I was in Petersburg, I swear to God, I read the minutes. In 1951, they passed a resolution thanking the city of Lubbock for spraying Petersburg with DDT to kill mosquitoes.
There's still an argument about DDT. But that's too long for this council meeting.
Well, I'm just saying, hey, it's effective. It worked.
There's still some argument about how dangerous it is.
You and I are, I think we're going to sing the same tune on that one. But anyway, the best thing for mosquitoes is just use off or some sort of repellent. So.
one other thing which I haven't had a chance to talk to Brian about it, but I noticed today that the fencing out the new dam that keeps everyone from going across the dam, one end to the other. It's made out of wood, all the H braces and everything wood.
So on
And
top?
they're rotting out.
On top?
Yeah.
Why did you do wood? Or is that whoever did the dam?
Whoever did the dam, I guess. But anyhow, we're gonna have to do some replacing before the gates fall down.
Right.
But we can talk about that next
Were the
meeting.
gates metal?
But, yeah,
I drove out there and thought about that dam. Remember, we got chewed out for stuff not growing on the dam in the middle of the drought? And now everything's growing, but the lake's full, and, rain helps a lot of stuff. You don't have to worry about stuff growing on the dam.
well, there's there's a dam safety program coming up, I think in August. One I can go to is in, Denton,
Didn't Texas.
and, so I probably attend that one day.
Sorry, Steve.
Are you going to that damn safety? So just for the record, you're going to that damn safety meeting? Just kidding.
We've got part of the list that TCEQ did the last time they inspected it.
Really?
Yes, yes, there's a ton.
Was it the mesquite trees or the trees?
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Yes,
You
I
know,
didn't like
trees
anything.
and where, people have been driving up the side of the dam, you know, and some erosion, and also the spillway needs to be cleaned and so it's 5 years before they do another inspection.
It's the things you don't do when it's dry, it's the things you gotta do when it's wet.
Yeah.
Oh, well, like I said, rain makes you laundry. It's awesome. All right. I'm going to remove myself from the council at this time, and Ms. Darlene is going to assume her position as Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you for your support.
Phil, do you have a copy of this?
Yeah, I had it. Yeah, I had it.
You have a copy of this?
We all have it.
I guess we'll be in.
Yeah, that's your team.
Okay.
Okay, you need to open up the.
No, it's not a executive.
No, you know it. Yeah, you have it open the agenda.
We are going to number 8, discuss and take action on a CPO request for proposals.
Okay. Couple of things to just, before we get into it too heavy and deep. This is a proposal that we put together, that I've modeled after other communities. It is for essentially the water at the pool. This has nothing to do with lifeguards. This has nothing to do with the, what you would call the operations of the pool. This has to do with the well, operations is a bad word to use. It has nothing to do with the concession stand, lifeguards, janitor, diving board. Well, diving boards could be, but it is. This is mainly for water. This is mainly to make sure the water's clean. The pumps, the chemicals, and it's the swimming, the filters, the sand filters. A number of sundry ideas and activities that have to be done at the pool, not only from May to September, but all year round. This will be the 3rd year that I have run the pool here, and it will be the 6th year that I run the pool, total. The biggest stress for me and my colleagues has always been the swimming pool in the summertime. A couple of things about the pool in general. We are the cheapest babysitter in town, far and away, and that's okay. We are also probably one of the most visible things, the swimming pool is one of the most visible things in town during the summer, just for the sheer number of people that congregate there. 2 years ago, I think we closed the pool down for 3 days because we had a problem with the filtration system. Last summer, we nearly closed it down. We had to shock the pool to get the chems and the pH and everything back in line. This year, I just did not want to have that happen again. That's one of those things where you're dealing with kids, you're dealing with parents. I know that you say don't answer the phone after 5 o'clock, but when someone's calling saying their kid's smelling chlorine at the pool, that tends to get my attention. So there is a definite need for this type of thing. Now, I called Southwest Pools, and I called Willis Pools. They do not have a maintenance program like this. They'll come out and do a hodgepodge, once it's broke, I'll fix it, but they will not do a maintenance program. So I said, what's the hodgepodge? You know, if you gotta come out, what's it gonna cost? And between hours and mileage, you're looking at about $500 a visit. Okay, that's not bad until you do about 5 visits in the month of July, or 10 visits in the month of July and August. And you still don't have an annual program. In February, we had a pump at the pool burn up. We had to replace it. It was $4,500. The reason why was it just kept running, and it didn't have the chemical in it, and it just burned itself up, so we had to replace it. Something to keep in mind here, as long as there's water in the pool, you still have to make sure that it's maintained. You still have to make sure that it's treated to a certain level as it is. Ballinger's not alone in that, but very few cities do that. Some cities drain the pool. I'm not a big fan of draining the pool. It causes far more problems than it prevents them. So there is a certain need for this. We put the RFP out on our website. It went out on Facebook. And we got one response from Sam Maurer. I think it's called HMS or some SMH services or whatever it's a side business. HMS services. So, he does have a certified pool operator license. So he meets that criteria. The bid came in, it was $11,200. I contacted TML, and y'all should have their opinion in front of you. Their viewpoint is it is legal to do this as an independent contractor only. To be clear, if y'all were to proceed with this, this would not be an employment situation. It would be an independent contract situation.
That would be renewed every year.
At your, yes, at your request. Yeah.
It's an annual contract.
Yeah, it's an annual contract. He put in there, he stipulated a certain number, y'all have his bid
Yes.
in there? Okay. He stipulated a certain number of hours that he was going to do in the summertime, a certain number of hours that he would do in the non-peak season. As far as that goes, I am fine with that. The way it works is he would be an independent contractor. He filed one of the things that Longley talked about was the conflict of interest questionnaire. And here's a copy of his conflict of interest questionnaire. He filed that with Bonita last week. It's just this real simple form out of from TML. Again, for clarification, this is not unique. Every city that I've ever been in, somebody's had to follow this. If we made a major purchase from Mueller, or Mueller wanted to contract with us, Philip would have to recuse himself. When I was in Anson, the vice president of the bank was also the mayor pro tem. So the mayor of Haskell is the president of First National Bank of Haskell. It's not uncommon for this to happen.
And we do this through the school district anyway.
Yes.
Or we know that.
Yes. I visited with Eb this morning. He seemed to, unless he's had a change of opinion, agree with TML. Yep.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
And they had an attorney general's opinion too, to back it up. And gives it a little more credence.
I also spoke with another attorney that I know who does municipal law, and I just ran it by him. And he didn't seem to think there'd be a single problem. The one question I did ask, I call this the Philip Bark question, no pun intended, Philip. What's the city's liability on this whole thing? There is no liability. If it turns out that Ebb and TML and every other lawyer I talked to is wrong on this, the worst case that happens is the contract gets nullified, and the city's not held harmless at all. The contract would just be nullified nullify.
I think I think really the only issue with this whole thing is if in fact there's somebody floating around out there that thinks this is dirty or something, it's just a perception that we're gonna fight as a council. And I think that we're gonna have to address it wherever we encounter it. If we do encounter it, we're just gonna have to address it when it happens. I mean, because we did submit it out to bid.
Nobody did?
Nobody bid. He's the only one that bid. He is a certified pole operator. The expense is reasonable. And so, you know, if you're upset about it, next year, when it comes up, put your bid in. But make sure you got your license and everything. We'll look at it just like we always look at it. This is our best option. I mean, it'd be something different if we had 5 people apply, we were more competitive bid, they had more experience, and we went ahead and selected Sam. I mean, that would be awkward.
Yes.
But we didn't do that.
It's more of a public relations than a legal
And
problem.
that's exactly right.
Yes.
I mean, it's potentially.
Okay, the only issue that I have, and I brought this up to Ron. You wanna go ahead?
Yes. One of the things is the city paid for the CPO license for Sam. When we went to Classic, he paid for it. My recommendation would be that we modify this to back out the expenses that the city incurred to get him certified. So the class, the hotel, I don't want to go down to I don't want to start doing meals, but we can find out what the hotel was, we can find out what the class was. And we can limit it, we can back that amount out of his bid.
Because I think if somebody said, well, the city paid for him to go, and he's the only one to put in a bid,
Yes.
I don't wanna
Yeah, we can,
worry about that.
we can back that out. And for the record, I have a CPO. For the record, I can tell you, I do not have the time to spend down at the swimming pool. When Janet Wilson calls me and says the water is murky and green, we either close the pool or I drop everything I do and I run down there. One of the things I put in the bid is that they will be available and on call at all times. So, something happens, you know, he's gotta show up and be there.
One other question, because he's doing this as a company,
Mhm.
will they carry liability insurance?
Yes.
Or will that be just to the city?
He has liability insurance. For him, yeah. Well, we
And I
will
don't know if
get,
that's an issue, I mean, if something's wrong with the
we'll
water
continue,
and-
we're gonna carry a liability policy regardless, we were gonna do that regardless. But he will carry a liability policy, excuse me.
Anyone have any questions? Okay. Well, let's take action.
Need a motion and a second to accept the bid from HMS Services.
Motion that we accept the bid from HMS Services for the certified pool operator for the 2016-2017.
You can make it effective June, you wanna do, just back it to June 1?
Yeah, from June 1, 2016 to May 31st, 2017.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye. That's for July.
And in favor?
That's it, Madam. Madam Pro Tem
I make a
Chair.
we need to
Yes.
get.
All right, I need a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, you can close back in.
Is he still here?
Is it here?
Sam,
Who seconded the motion to adjourn?
Nobody even made a motion.
Sam,
Oh,
Sam!
She did.
Okay, she made a motion. Can I second that motion now?
Well, do you want to call Sam back in?
Yes, he's doing that right now. I already lost my second person, so.
no, man, no, not letting our previous leader call me through it.
Not
Sam?
yet.
Not yet, no.
As soon as Sam comes back in, you hurry, Sam, so we can go.
Did you say son of Sam or
She's already made a motion to adjourn.
Second.
You can't.
He said second.
You can't.
I said second. He said, yes, second.
Sam, you're back in. Okay, so you need a motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
I make that motion.
A second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.